or the CBC series Ideas on Great Thinkers. Tonight I want to present the very first episode of Ray Talks. Tonight's episode, and it may be in two parts because it was just really quite an amazing day, was my experience as a pimp. What the hell's wrong with this? My experience as a pimp for the National Arts Center. Now, you know, I posted that thing last night on how I was going to take a job where I might need to break a leg. Well, today I was told I could come in for an interview. And so I showed up. They said, "Oh, don't bring a resume. It's not needed. We like your personality. We like your commitment. I think you're going to do really fine here." And so I went down to this location in Ottawa. And the interview, first of all, it wasn't the National Arts Center. It was a marketing company on behalf of the National Arts Center. Secondly, it wasn't to raise money for children's programs. It was basically to just raise money, corporate commitment, and to, let's put it this way, to talk to very rich people about giving up lots of money and then having access to other famous people so they could be the cock of the walk and all that kind of thing. We went in for the interview as such. There were about 16 of us. I was by far the oldest there. Well, the closest one to me was 32, so roughly half my age. And they were talked about what was our interest in the arts. Well, only 2 of us of 16 had ever even been involved in the arts at all. The rest were all marketing people. And basically our job, then we had what was called the interview, and he said, well, you have the job, and then again you don't have the job. There'll be about 16 of you, and a handful will get the job. You will work for 3 days, get paid, and if you don't make a lot of sales, you're not going to be here anymore. Some of you may even decide you don't want to be here anymore. So anyway, he went in the other room. We were to be interviewed one by one. Everybody said, well, you know, it's obvious Ray and this other guy will get it because they've been in the arts. So we went and then read the program of what we were to do. Basically, it was hard to sell telemarketing. You don't say you can donate anywhere from $100 a year to $2,000. You start at why they should give $2,000 and then argue with them to the point where maybe they'd give 100, but it wouldn't count in your favor unless they were giving at least $500 to the arts. I said, was this for children? Oh, no. Some might be for children, but only in the long term. And it was weird. So anyway, we were given all these scripts of what we were to say, and they said we could vary from the script, but basically we were to make people feel like schmucks if they didn't give enough money. Well, when we finished this thing, there was only a couple of people who really felt like schmucks in the room. It was me, and I didn't know anybody else felt like me, and I just felt like, oh, I need a job so bad, but oh my God, I've never done anything. I've cleaned toilets. I've cleaned toilets in the regional center, and I would rather do that because at least I was doing something honest for my money. So anyway, 2 people left and said they didn't want the job. Interestingly enough, it was the 2 people who had worked in the arts. And so I almost felt like crying. I felt so bad, but I walked in and I said, I can't do this. I tried to take my script with me because I was going to copy it and show you just how telemarketers work. And but I did. They wouldn't let me bring it. So my new friend and I, we went out for coffee and we talked about it. And I was just enjoying the coffee, and I was saying how much I liked this coffee house, and I just wanted to work with people in an honest way. So we talked back and forth about that. A minute later, a man about 35 walked over to me, the assistant manager, and he said, your coffee's free. I says, why? He says, well, we would like you to fill up this form and meet our manager when she's back Friday, because You're the kind of person we want to have work at a place like this. Somebody who doesn't want to be hard sell. Well, all of you know in Perth how I would love to sell coffee for a living. So to make a long story short, I didn't get the job I went for that paid a lot, but I was offered the opportunity of turning in my resume for another job. I got home, there was a phone call from my mother. She wanted me to phone her. I phoned her and I says, Mom, I turned down a job. You did what? I says, I turned down a job. And I told her it was telemarketing. My mother had had the same approach the last 4 days from the Arthritis Society, who had someone following the same rules. After 4 phone calls, she had said to them, You're making my arthritis worse, and it's all in the seat of my pants. You are a pain. Had I taken the job, my family would have disowned me. This is Ray Talks for April 24th. Who knows what's going to happen tomorrow?